Did you see my interview with Monster?
Yes, I seen it.
What did you think about the part when he said, "Pretty boy stuff came later"? What did you get from that?
See, when he said came later, it came later because me and him knew each other. See, the homies that he was fighting then, they was already going at it. But me and his stuff came later because we started off as best friends. So it came later due to the fact is we wasn't trying to really hurt each other, you know. And then later on, it kind of progressed, you know. And a lot of people don't know, after he wrote his book, right? And he was in Pelican Bay, I was at Tracy. And we was writing each other on the correspondence. You know, I got kind of upset about the book, you know, because all the stuff that was said about me.
Kev Mac video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
So we started writing, and we kept a correspondence going until, you know, he was released, and I was transferred, and they stopped letting us correspond with each other.
Have you got any blowback from anybody over that book? Face to face. You know, we hear stuff on the internet.
The closest I ever got to anybody saying anything remotely in question in my book was your homeboy Kill Rock.
So then when I finally came home, we hit each other up on Facebook. So I still got the last, and I kept it because I want to put it in my book. I got the last messenger conversation we had with each other. It was a long one too. You know, it wasn't no hard feelings with each other. We was talking about doing an interview. He said when he get back from New York, we was going to do this. So I said, cool, right? You know, and we started laughing about, you know, girls that we used to mess with at the same time. So, you know, it was like, you know, it was like we kind of forgot about the war. Right? And we went back to how we was when we was young. So 3 weeks later, I get a phone call, 12 midnight. It was after 12. And the San Diego 30s hit me up and they said, you heard about your boy? I said, well, what's going on? And they said, your boy is dead.
So you never ran across Monster in the county jail or in prison, right?
Me and Monster, when we was incarcerated, we never ran across each other on no county jail or prison yard. Only correspondence. We never ended up in the same joint.
And then when you get out and he get out and y'all corresponding on Facebook, how would you consider you guys rekindle friendship or still a little edgy until y'all work out the interview or what?
Well, when I corresponded with him on Messenger, it wasn't no edgy thing. We just fell back into it, started laughing and joking and talking about this person and that person and who we used to fight and I used to fight. So in our minds, it's like, we know the war happened, but for us, it was like, okay, that's old, let's move forward. So we chopped it up, and like I said, I was waiting for him to come back and we was gonna do the interview on Kev Mac together, and 3 weeks later, he ended up having a heart attack, you know?
How did you get information to the funeral, and what made you go?
When I first heard about him passing, the San Diego 30s hit me up after 12. And they told me that your boy was gone. And I said, who? They said, Kody. So I'm like, what? So I called his brother up and told him, I said, man, did you hear about your brother, right? And he was kind of shocked too. And he was hoping it was just a rumor, but he did pass. So his brother, Kerwin, called me up. He said, look, pretty. He said, I want you to come to my brother's service. You know, can you do that for me, right? I have no problem with doing it. So I went, you know, and everybody was saying, oh, pretty, don't go, man. You know, you might get into some stuff there. I didn't get into no problems, you know.
There was a handful of other 60s that attended as well, right?
Yeah. Ron and Mumpy, they came. No, well, Ron and Mumpy came to the candlelight. Us three came to the candlelight. The actual service, me and Big Crazy Coop, yeah, we went there together, you know, and the homie Cutes, he went there. Matter of fact, it was a host of everybody there. I got to give it to him. Everybody turned out, even the Bloods, they showed up, gave their respect. So it was no drama there. It was respectful. So it was a nice service, you know.
What was the service held at?
The service was held on 79th and Western at the big church, the same one that that Tookie had his at when he was executed by the state.
And for those out of town, that's an A-Tray gangster territory, correct?
Yes, it is.
Man, that's crazy. So how did the A-Trays greet you? Was it animosity? Was they thankful?
No. When I went up there, all the gangsters that I grew up with, we have much respect for each other. I took pictures with them. I took pictures with Bone from Athens. I mean, it wasn't a place to have no aggression at, no attitudes. But I didn't see no attitudes there. So like I said, you know, I seen some of the gangsters up there. I mean, we talked and we chopped it up. It wasn't no problem. You know, when I went to the Candlelight, me, Mump, and Ron, you know, I talked to a lot of them there. Wasn't no aggression. You got to see, here's the problem. Here's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand about the first wave of 8-Trays and 60s towards the new ones. See, we had a history of friendship at first. So we already knew each other before anything went crazy. The later homies, the younger homies, right, that came in after the war, they didn't have a history of friendship. So they didn't have to abide by that. They didn't have to look at this used to be my friend growing up. They just fell into a war and just kept going with it. So that's why their attitude is different for the old homies' attitude, because they don't have a history with them. They don't care, you know? So this is why it's still going, because y'all going on something that we left y'all. See, us, we had like a 7-8 year friendship before this went down. So we all knew each other, ran together before everything went crazy. That's why it was harder for us when the war first started, because we had that friendship, you know. And then when I was in prison, you know, we ended up seeing a lot of us was at Tracy. No problem, no drama, no nothing.